guys, and welcome back to another episode of a noob's journey through Norrath. We are entering Crescent Reach. Pretty dead right now, nobody's really on. But that's okay. Less lag. Alright, and it looks like we're ready to roll. We need to kill some pumas for this quest that we picked up last night, just before we logged off. But I don't know if we're going to stick to that or if we're just going to grind and kill shit. I was told we get a good tome if we stick to some of the quests inside the city here, but I'm not sure which ones are which, and there's a bunch of them, so it's just kind of a bit much when I just want to go out and kill shit and level up. There's one. Simple enough, just gotta find enough of them. Doesn't appear to be hardly anybody out here, so that's good. It's like 11 o'clock at night. The server's usually pretty quiet by then. So yeah, I mean, I really love this kind of combat. I like to grind. It doesn't get old for me. It looks like there's people over there, so maybe I spoke too soon. Whole bunch of corpses over there. Holy shit. And it's been active here today. I take it they're being killed by them. Yeah, those are reds. That's what happens when you're not paying attention. Bummer, dudes. Come here. I like this zone. I mean, I know it's pretty new still. It wasn't part of any of the classic stuff, but I like it here. I like the music. And, yeah, I just like the way it's set up. It's pretty cool. Alligators. Did we get through there? Nice. So these are all beyond us. Would be a bad idea to mess with any of this shit. Let's see if we can get back across. I don't know, it's just not worth the risk. Try to control the pitch in the water so I'm not bouncing around so much without going down and getting bit. What the hell? That was different. Okay, so we're gonna have to stick to this kind of shit for now. I'm just gonna kill what I can, and we'll get the cougars as they come along, or pumas, or whatever the hell it is. Yeah, puma. You know, a lot of these modern MMOs, they're just quest after quest after quest, and you can't ever grind. If you just want to kill stuff, you know, it's not really viable. It doesn't really do anything for you. Unless it's quest related. And that, it just gets so old. I guess if you're, not used to EverQuest and stuff like that, if you're younger and you don't know, I guess that's cool. But once you play a game like this, like if you grew up playing something like this, you can't stay away from it for too long before you're just like, oh, I just want to grind on shit. I just want to sit in a camp and kill stuff, and that's it. I don't want to have to run around doing quests. Like when I used to play EQOA, I hated questing. It was my least favorite thing to do. Whenever I had to catch up on quests, it was always like, oh, great. Because you lose that sense of freedom of just being able to run wherever you want and kill whatever is relevant at the time. And, you're just locked into that quest. And sometimes, they chain, and it was just a pain in the ass. I remember getting behind and having to do armor quests or quests for spells and shit. And it was just a pain. I'm thinking we're gonna try to take on one of those guys next time we level up. Should be in any minute here. Yep, pretty close. But yeah, like I was saying, questing is not my thing. I never really cared that much for it. I just did it because it had to be done. A lot of people hate to grind. They feel the opposite way. They just like each level to just go smooth and transition without things getting too repetitive. If things got repetitive for me, I just went to another camp. If I got tired of killing kobolds for 3 hours, I just go to Kappa's, you know what I mean? Or somewhere else. We always switched camps up, and it was like a flavor of the month kind of thing where people wanted to go. That's what I'm all about, and I just really hope that EQ Next recognizes that people want to do that. There's still people that want to do that. I mean, maybe offer both, a little bit of both worlds, or a hardcore server for people like us, so we can have the option to get our corpse back and have debt and shit like that, and we can, call the people on the regular server sissies. I'm pretty sure it would go something like that, but it would be cool, I would definitely be on the hardcore server. I don't know, from like a development standpoint, I don't know if that's a viable option. Alright, so we found a puma cave. Apparently it's a puma den. We're out there looking, and I'm like, oh shit, there's a cave over here. And look, there's puma inside. Still don't have enough. Had to double check for a second. I'm like, wait a minute, I've been doing this for a minute. Congrats. I don't know why I press /G. It's already set the group. This is pretty good XP. The XP in this goes so fast. I mean, back in the day, it had to frickin' crawl. I know it did. EverQuest Online Adventures crawled. This game had to crawl. It took forever to get to level like 20, 30, 40. I mean, shit. It took a long time. Each level felt like 10 levels compared to this. Maybe even more after a certain point. It just got nuts. You'd be lucky to get a level in a day of hardcore grinding. I don't need the teeth, I need the fang, right? Yay! Alright, now we gotta finish hers up, I think. Unless she's already set. It's great XP, I don't even want to leave here. I'll grind on dark blues all day. I'm not one of those people who has to have the yellows and reds. I always believe that the dark blues are just as good because you go through them quick. Whites and dark blues, a lot of people didn't like to do that back in the day. They'd get in a group and then they'd see that what we were doing and like, no, I'm going to leave, and they'd bounce. You try to explain to them, you know, it's going faster. So it just about averages out, you know, you gotta figure, with less risk of somebody dying too. You know, the average bear is not that intelligent. So hopefully this is the last one. I need to rest. Still on a quest to get those bone chips. I've been talking about them since the last video. She's got to get her bone chips yet. Priority right now is finding a merchant that sells bags. Somebody told me in Crescent Reach we can get typical standard bags, and that's just, you know, that's all we need. That'll be good enough. But I'm having a blast. I gotta tell you guys, I'm having a lot of fun. When I went through and did this on Wolf Moon, I mean, it was fun, and there was a lot of people. And I got groups here and there. It was a good time, but it's a lot more fun when you're playing with, you know, your spouse or someone you know. I mean, for crying out loud, we met in the world of EverQuest, so this is just extra special for us, and it's just awesome. I have to admit, I was kind of mad at Sony. It was just difficult for me to play the game because there was just this bad taste in my mouth, you know. I was just like, damn, you guys just fucking abandoned us, you know. And I started to get over it and stop being a little bitch about it. You know, it was on PlayStation 2. What can you do? You can't expect that shit to last forever. PC's different. It's not going anywhere. You know, they just stopped production of PS2s, and, you know, I was thinking Smedley probably shut it down because he knew that they were going to be doing that, and then all the online servers were going to be getting shut down anyway, so why not do it in collaboration with the 13th anniversary of EverQuest and the going free thing? You figured he'd pull some of us onto this. You know, you can't blame him. And it was actually, I think from a marketing standpoint, it was an intelligent decision, because here I am, you know. And I am spending money, and we are probably going to sub, just not till we get into the higher levels, and it's more worth it for that, you know, the better gear and all that stuff. But yeah, man, it feels good to be back. Not 100% the same, but wow, look at all the stuff we didn't get. I mean, we didn't have any of this shit. We had this, and this was connected to this. And I'm not sure if I made a video and talked about it, but I'm going to do it now anyway. I make so many videos that don't make the cut, you know what I mean? So I'm not sure. But this right here was connected here. It was along the side here. And our expansion consisted of this. Just Otis. That was it. So we got that far. And when you come from EQOA and you log in and you look at this map, it just kind of pisses you off even more because you realize all the stuff you didn't get and you should have. But for PlayStation 2, man, they crammed a lot of shit into that game. You gotta give them props. Fucking PS2, think about it. I think this is the new. I'm lagging. Yeah, big time from bringing up the maps. I apologize if things are all screwy right now. I think this is the new continent that just came with the Reign of Fear expansion. But yeah, I can't wait to go to all these places. I just can't wait. Awesome. So here you can see the basic map that we started with in EverQuest Online Adventures. There was nothing too grand about it. You'll notice that it's not called Antonica. This continent here is not called Antonica. They called it Teneria, and I believe The reason why is because fadeware is connected to the right-hand side over here. I never read anything about it, but apparently it just broke off and floated away. Some sort of earthquake or something caused it. The great unknown down there later on would be known as Agak. And you can see in this map here, this is our Frontiers map, our only expansion that we got. They added Otis and Plane of Sky. And they added Plane of Disease. And Zenorian Plateau later on they added that. I don't think it was part of this though. It was considered like a kind of like a separate expansion that without a disc. So they continued to update it and they added things here and there, nothing really grand. But they did continue to update it a bit. So you can see how I was kind of upset when I got in EverQuest 1 and I opened up the map and I saw this. That's a lot of stuff we didn't get. But like I said, PlayStation 2 limited hardware. They didn't have a hard disk drive. So even if the game did do really well and continued on, I don't know if they could have ever implemented all of this. I mean, that's just, that's a lot of stuff. But yeah, there you have it. EverQuest Online Adventures maps. So yeah, you can see that they even added this new continent over here with Vale of Valeris. I'm sorry, it wasn't Reign of Fear. Vale of Valeris is where they came from. I didn't even bother to read the name. I just noticed it was a new continent and commented on it. But yeah, I'm out here now trying to get her shield. Ornate Defiant Glowing Shield. I've been working on it for a while. I spent about 9 or 10 hours here yesterday. And I'm working on 6 or 7 hours today just trying to get this damn shield to drop. I'm sure there's a better location to have it drop, but I'm not certain where to go. This is where I was told to go to get mine. Excuse me. Last year somebody told me to come out here, and it worked out. I got it within 4 or 5 hours, which is pretty short for EverQuest. It sucks that you got to grind and be out here for so long, but when it finally does drop, you just can't believe it when you see it here. You're like, oh yes, and just I don't know. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's just more of a sense of accomplishment because you work so hard to get it. Now I've had a few people come in here and move in on the camp, but they leave. They see me and I'm like, hey, I'm camping, and they're like, okay, and they leave. If it was another game like a modern game, like WoW, that shit wouldn't happen. They wouldn't leave. As a matter of fact, they'd probably go get their friends to come help. So there's a level of maturity in the player base that you just don't get that anywhere else. There's people respect camps for the most part. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, but it's less likely to happen here. She's AFK because, like I said, we've been going for a while. She's taking a nap. So if it drops, I'm just gonna go in and be like a nice surprise for her. She gets to loot it. In EverQuest Online Adventures, this shield was a big deal. I remember when it first started dropping off attack. There was this goblin up in Hollis called Tack. And he sat in an igloo, and man, when word got around that was dropping, it was chaos. Everybody was trying to get it. And it was my 21st birthday. I went out camping with my cousin. Went up, and I came home, and she had got the shield. And she's like, happy birthday. I was really shocked. I was like, holy shit. This was long before we were living together. We just knew each other over the game. She got it for me, and I was very happy about it. She got lucky, she happened to get into the right igloo where he spawned, and he had it, and she got it. And back then, when you had the shield, if somebody seen you wearing it, it was just, you'd get non-stop tells. Where'd you get that? I even had people like hatefully yelling at me, like, I tried to get that, and you're an asshole, all sorts of name calling. And so it was pretty intense back in the day, this shield. The first version that dropped was called the Crystalline Orb, and then they started dropping the Orb of Karana. I'm sure the items were there, but nobody had found them. I don't even know how many items weren't found in EQOA. There had to have been some that nobody ever got. Apparently there's a lot of items that people haven't got in EverQuest 1. I saw a trailer for one of the expansions, and I think it was one of the expansions. It said like over 3,000. No, it was a fan-made trailer. Like over 3,000 items haven't been discovered. The trailer was a couple years old, but that's insane. I mean, items that have yet to be found by players because they're so rare. They drop so rarely off of, you know, some of them off of maybe even trash mobs nobody would ever look for. But yeah, I'm just gonna stay out here for a couple more hours and hope that it drops. If not, we're gonna hop on our necros and level up so that we can come out here, so that it's kind of worth our while. I've been making some decent platinum. You can see that's not too bad. I actually went up a level here, 1.5 levels. These are kind of green and light blue to me, so that gives you an idea of how long I've been here. I was 51. I wasn't 51 and a half, I was 51, period. And, now I'm 52 and a half. I actually got a few alternate advancement points, too. So, yeah, we're just camping away over here. And I believe this is where we're going to stop the video. I noticed it was starting to run a little long. But yeah, when we come back, we're going to be working on our necros again, and hopefully, she'll have her shield. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.